I just don't think she's getting any better.
I think you're right, but I don't know what else to do other than give her time.
Dude, I'm as worried as you are, and I just don't think we've given her so much time.
I mean, what do you want to do?
Oh, we've got a deadline.
I know we've got a deadline.
Dude, it's not the same without her.
What have I done? I can't stop grinning now. Windows, Mac, and Linux unite. Digital DJs and the Hope Conference in New York City, this time on Hak5.
So here we are, Season 2, Episode 1, Hak5. I am
Yes! So good to be back. 1 year anniversary!
Woo! Been at it for 1 year.
And guess who's back with us?
Ali! Hi!
It's
How
so
you doing?
good to have you back. I'm glad you returned.
Glad to see you back in the saddle.
Well, you had this nice little corner for me.
Yeah.
She couldn't pass it up.
Seriously, I mean, that set was fun to build. Dude,
it was.
new set!
New set, including not just her note, but we've got the monolith.
And then we've got new graphics, we've got...
All sorts of brand new
stuff.
goodies.
No,
Same table.
same table.
Shiny.
We'll replace the table eventually.
Oh, yes. So, as always, we're going to have a lot of good content for you this time
Power
around.
Pack show.
Oh, yes.
Tons of fun stuff.
So without further ado, let's jump straight into the first segment, which is...
Did a little hack with some Windows and some Linux and some Macintoshes.
Some OS X.
Yeah, so let's put it all together and take a look.
Roll it. Okay, so here we are, and we want to showcase this sweet software Darren was talking about that would allow us to use one mouse and one keyboard for multiple machines. Excuse me. What is it, Darren?
It's called Synergy, and as you said, you're right. It's the software that will let you take a mouse and a keyboard and rule them all with it.
Okay,
so
now, first things first, obviously we use a lot of Windows, but, there's people that use open source and Mac users. Is it cross-platform? Can we use this?
Totally cross-platform. That's what we've got set up here. We've got a Windows machine. We have a Mac Mini, courtesy of our camera guy, Paul.
Yay, Paul, the camera guy.
Thank you. And we've got your laptop here running Gen 2.
Right.
So, and we've got them all networked together on the same LAN, and using Synergy, we have a server running on the Mac Mini. Mm-hmm. It could be on any of these, but we've got it running on the Mac Mini, and we've got clients running on the Windows and the Gen 2 box, and those all communicate. And using the network, we're able to emulate the keyboard and mouse so that we only have one pair of keyboard and mouse on the desk, and then 3 monitors. So the way that this software works is that on the server, you will tell it, on this machine, we've told it that the Windows machine is to the right of it, and that the Linux machine is to the left of it. So that when you move the mouse across the left side of the screen, it will come into the right side of the Linux machine, and vice versa. So you can move your mouse, across as if it was one big extended desktop, and that way, whatever your cursor is on becomes the active machine that your keyboard will accept input from, or your computer will accept the keyboard from.
Yeah, so I can I can work on this machine, I can work on that machine, and go between my web server, my web developer, and my graphics editor, whatever.
Yeah, you can get a lot of. This is perfect for multitaskers that are running multiple operating systems. In fact, I've got 2 Windows machines on my desk, and they work great. I've got my editing box and I've got my development box, and I'm going back and forth between them.
I've seen the Uber Micro for that,
and they run at different resolutions. But the coolest thing is, it approximates, because I have 3 monitors that are all the same bank size.
Right.
It emulates where they should be.
Okay, so if I'm running 1024 by 768 in this monitor, and I want to go to the monitor on the right hand side,
that's running at 1280.
But 1024, I can go through the right-hand corner out, and I end up in the left-hand corner in.
Top left, yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. Fantastic. Now, we're talking about using one keyboard and one mouse for 3 different machines. Now, all of these machines have some kind of login process, Control-Alt-Delete, just regular user, and whatever OS X uses, because I've never touched it. When I reboot, will I be able to use that same single mouse and keyboard to log into these machines?
Sure. With Windows, for the Control-Delete, it's actually Control-Alt-Pause.
Okay.
And as for starting up, I think what you're asking is, do I still need a keyboard and mouse attached to the other machines besides the server?
Right, yeah.
And the answer is no. Now, I still keep a keyboard attached to one of my machines because it won't get past BIOS without a keyboard, unfortunately. But, it gives the old keyboard error, press F1 to continue, which I love.
Or any key.
Any key, yeah.
I love that.
Where's the any key? Anyway, no, you don't need to have a keyboard and mouse attached to each machine if they don't need it, because you can set up on Windows it as a service so that it starts up on boot and it'll be running when you get to the login screen. Same thing with the Mac. There's 3 different ways to do it that are illustrated on the website, and with Linux it's an X configuration.
Okay, so yeah, I have your x11.com or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay, so since we're running all of this over the network, is there any kind of network security issues? Now, granted, this is all on the LAN, so I'm not worried about it. You're not going to be running some kind of packet sniffer on me, nor
right. I mean,
you.
I wouldn't be setting up 3 different laptops at a Starbucks or something, and hoping that somebody's not listening to my packets. I don't think what they say on the website is don't run this on an untrusted network, because there is no authentication and there is no encryption. So if you're in a dorm environment and you're worried, you're a little paranoid about somebody sniffing your keyboard and mouse traffic, they could actually do that. However, you can use SSH to secure it. Just got to make sure that you do SSH with port forwarding, and I believe it's port 24800.
Right.
And we've talked about port forwarding and SSH before on previous episodes, and we'll have links in the show notes to some other SSH servers that will run on various operating systems. But yeah, by default the software is not secure. I'm running it here in the studio. I know everybody on this LAN.
Right,
You're on the LAN. I'm on the LAN.
Paul's on the LAN.
Yeah. So I mean, you're not sniffing my packets, are you?
No. Never.
Thanks.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But seriously, so Synergy has proven to be a really, really versatile, really good program.
It'll
really
change your life.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic for jumping between machines and not having to go like I do right now. I have to roll my chair around and go from keyboard to mouse, whatever.
Right.
Now,
our friend Rob had two sets of keyboard and mice on his desk. One that he'd pull under. And
yeah.
And it's
that's ridiculous.
Well,
it serves a purpose to an extent, but then there's just
why not just tie it all together?
Yeah. So, we've gone through all these 3 machines now. Is there any other features that you'd really like to highlight that are just really, really cool, that would look really good?
Okay, this is the one thing that blew my mind. As well as the fact that it just works seamlessly and beautifully, it has a clipboard that works between all 3 systems. So if you were in XChat on your Gen 2 box and you wanted to copy and paste something over to your Mac machine, you would just copy it over here, come over here, paste it, and it will work. You say you're working in Photoshop, or you got a web page open on the Windows machine, you want to paste it into GIMP, copy, paste, images, text, they work seamlessly across all platforms.
So the clipboard is cross-platform, cross-network. I can go from here to there to here to anywhere.
It makes it so that these 3 machines don't feel like 3 separate machines. It just feels like your working environment. Doesn't matter what OS it is. So
that is beautiful, beautiful. And I'll make sure that I install Synergy. Well, it's obviously on my laptop. Now I'm going to have to put on my Windows box so I can go jump between the 2 because I'm tired of having to jump back and forth.
Exactly. I mean, if you're thinking about making the change, if you're thinking about making the switch, but you can't, really, like the Mac Mini is a perfect example of a reason why you want to use Synergy, is because, I love the Mac Mini. I've been thinking about really getting a Mac Mini. It's either that or the MacBook. But if I get a Mac Mini, I'm totally setting it up on my LAN, and I'm totally going to be using Synergy so that I can slowly make the transition and slowly get into the reality distortion field that is Mac. But anyway.
I am Steve Jobs, and you will do what I say. Okay, so we can bounce back and forth between the all machines using the clipboard that Synergy has built in, which is incredible. Now, what about gaming? FPS shooters, you're using your mouse, you're going back and forth with the keyboard. It's crazy. Now, what happens if I smack the mouse too far?
I ran into the same exact problem. I was playing on the Hak5 UT server, and I was getting some frags on, but it wasn't really happening. When I would go too far left, I'd look a little too far left. My screen it would actually come out of the machine and go into the next machine, and my game would minimize. Yeah. So I found out reading the website that actually there's a workaround for that, and if you press scroll lock, whatever machine your mouse is currently on active, it locks you onto that machine.
Wow.
So if you're doing any FPS gaming, lock yourself in with scroll lock, and that way you won't.
Or if you're like really involved in what you're working on, like I know I've done it before. Like you get really involved and you just start slinging the mouse everywhere. Yeah, like you're in the zone. Now, like one of those stupid things. It's so stupid and silly, but I have fun with it. Is that like my screensavers?
It'll actually sync them all. It'll sync all your screensavers so that all 3 go on at the same time. And you can actually configure, I haven't done this myself, but supposedly the website says that you configure it so that one login will log into all 3 machines at once.
Nice.
So that's kind of a cool feature that I haven't really delved into, but they say that it's available.
That's cool. That'd just be like something you have to research or anything.
Right, and the website is synergy2.sourceforge.net, and it's licensed under the GNU GPL.
Okay, so it is an open source project.
It's open source, and we heart open source here at Hak5.
We heart open source. So, I do believe I'm out of Corvathier, so this segment's going to have to end here. Yes. So, let's go see what Allie's doing, because I've got a mod coming up, which is like cool, because I did some stuff. But let's go check out this month's trivia. Thank you. Yes.
The last trivia question was, in what province and what country can you find a 40-foot statue of Optimus Prime? That was correctly answered by Andy, who wrote, the statue is in Yunnan Province, China. Jinx was kind enough to hook him up with a $25 gift certificate so he can get his very own Hak5 Trust Your Technolust t-shirt. Enjoy.
A 40-foot statue of Optimus Prime?
Dude, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, seriously.
Whatever they needed it for, I'm sure it served its purpose.
Actually, there's a really interesting story, and we should post a link in the show notes to this guy's adventure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Later, guys, it's time for this month's trivia.
Okay, so what is this month's trivia?
This month's trivia question is, what is the frequency of the commonly used crystal that produces a mixture of 1700 and 2200 hertz tones, often used to defeat ACTS? Send your answers to trivia@hak5.org.
And as always, trivia is sponsored by GoDaddy.com. Get reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. Best of all, plans start at $3.95 a month. Plus, as a fan of Hak5, enter code HAK3, that's HAK and the number 3, and get your .com domain name for just $6.95 a year. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com.
And we'll be back right after this important message.
The internet is not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. And if you don't understand, those tubes can be filled. And if they're filled, when you put your message in, it gets in line. It's going to be delayed by anyone that puts into that tube enormous amounts of material. Enormous amounts of material.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, one of our big photo bulbs that powers the key lights went out, and it made this awesome explosion inside, and I didn't know what to do with it. But it looked really cool, so I gave it to Wess to say, hey, man, come on, I know you can do something fun with this. And you've done some really fun stuff with LEDs. So let's take a look.
Favorite thing to work with. I love
All right, so what do we have here?
It's a photosensitive light. Mm-hmm. So when the lights go dim, it comes on.
So it's a geek nightlight.
Basically.
Awesome.
And it also doubles as a really good beginner's project getting into electronics.
Hey, that's a great mod for episode 1.
Yeah, I thought so. Because I actually do plan on doing a lot more electronic stuff, so this is a good place to start. And basically what we're looking at is it looks more complicated than what it is. It's actually a fairly simple circuit once you get past the wiring diagram, which actually threw me for a loop real quick.
Mm-hmm. So where did you get inspired by this?
This actually came off of a hardware hack that I saw on both Instructables and iHacked.
Great websites if you haven't been there.
Oh, yes. A great resource to find projects people have come up with, and if you want to repeat them yourselves. But the original project was a Balls bottle light.
Oh, okay. So we're using a big photo bulb here, but you could also use bottle of balls or some Courvoisier, whatever you want.
You can use Courvoisier, whatever strikes your fancy, whatever you have on hand. We just decided to use this light bulb. Disrono. But if you're working with glass, please exercise caution, especially if you're going to cut open a light bulb like this one, because you are working with glass, sharp edges. And that's
vacuumed and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, the vacuum's not the big problem. It's the actual, if you happen to break the glass. So, at the very least,
extreme caution.
Yes, follow all shop safety, rules.
As always, with any mod that you do.
Yeah, it's safety.
So can you walk us through how this thing works?
Okay, basically what we have here is a 9-volt battery right here, and that's obviously supplying power. Whoa! Oh my goodness! And 2 resistors here. One is a 100k ohm resistor, and the other one's it's a 460, I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It eludes me at this moment. And that they're both connected to the positive line, and the lesser of the 2 resistors goes to the LED, and the LED goes to this NPN type switching transistor right here.
So that's really the brains of all this, right?
This is what's making it work, because we have 2 electrical currents running here.
Mm-hmm.
The 100k ohm resistor is connected to our photoresistor on the back here.
Okay.
Right there.
So that's what's giving it the special sauce. So if we can see that the LED is shining right here.
Yeah,
because it's getting
but I expose it to the light, and the LED goes out. Covered.
I see.
See?
So when the light goes out, the LED goes on.
Oh yes,
awesome.
And the way these little photo things work, these photoresistors work, is the more light they have, the more conductive they are.
Oh, okay, so it's stealing the electricity from the battery then.
Well, it's bypassing the current going through the light, so we still have a continuous electrical current. So it's actually working, but the light's not getting power.
Cool.
And then no light, it stops being conductive, and then the LED gets the power.
And you also seem to have built a pretty spiffy little kind of, I don't know, it's got kind of an oriental feel to it, little enclosure for this bulb here.
Mm-hmm.
And so can we put this all together and see what it looks like?
Yeah, and of course, if I were doing this, like in a permanent thing, I would tighten this all up.
Right.
I just needed
breadboard would be great.
Yeah, breadboard definitely. I just wanted to make sure I could illustrate the circuitry a little bit better. So if this shorts out,
well, of course it's going to short out because this is live television.
Of course. Yeah, it shorted. Hold on. I got wires touching. Oh, God. Lost something here. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. It actually decided to work. How about that?
Okay, so when the light goes out... Oh,
see?
That's so much fun. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to build one for myself. Now I'm going to get you to build me one, too. Now, if somebody wants to build one of their own at home, where did you...
Well, in the show notes that we'll have in the Hak5 wiki, we'll have links to the ball's light.
On Instructables?
On Instructables or iHack. Instructables works.
Sweet. Okay, now when we get back, we're going to check out Limin Li. He's here to show us some really nifty digital DJ stuff. But first, we're going to head over to Allie for this month's LAN party.
Well, last LAN party was Counter-Strike Source. I'm a World of Warcraft fan myself, but, whatever floats your boat. This month's game is Battlefield 2. You can sign up and frag the boys on August 19th at hak5.org/LAN party. But if you want to be cool, you can chill with me and Azeroth, and we'll have a few drinks.
No, dude. All about the Battlefield 2. Seriously.
It's all about the FPS.
No, and you know what? If you want to get on the team, with the guy that can crash a helicopter 360 upside down,
I swear.
Yeah, because that takes mad skill.
Seriously.
Boys and big guns. You'd think you'd be compensating for something.
We get any shout-outs?
BFG.
You get any shout-outs for last month's LAN party?
Shout-outs for last month's LAN party. Missing Intellect
with the noob cannon. Dude.
No. That was the Z.
Oh,
the Z was the one that ran around with the friggin' auto shotty. It's like the only man that could hit. That was the only thing he could
It was great.
It was just like, he was like, dude, oh, God, come on, guy.
And we hadn't played Counter-Strike since
like 1.3. What?
Can we move along, please?
Okay, so
all right, so
we'll be back right after these messages,
and then with LML.
Here at the NSA, protecting American citizens is our top priority. That's why we're introducing NSA local, long-distance, and high-speed internet services. You see, our bundled packages include the fastest tubes, competitive rates, and secure logging of your personal information. We've cut out the middleman, we've passed the savings on to you. It's time to put your mind at ease, America. Support this wonderful nation. and join today. Just pick up your phone and say, I want NSA.
Okay, so we've got a special guest with us here today on Hak5, and that's Limin Li, a professional DJ from ETN.FM online radio. Hey, Limin, how you doing, buddy?
How you been?
Good, good, good. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to come down.
And so, what we're here to find out from you is how the DJ spins in the digital age. Mm-hmm. And so, I guess we'd like to have a little background from you right now as to how'd you get into DJ?
Well, what I really started off with was just a computer, and I downloaded software called Virtual Turntable. I'm not sure anybody heard of that before, but what it was two MP3 players, and it gave us a little pitch control, and that's all I did. Oh, I didn't have anything. I cannot cue my thing. I cannot cue my vinyl. I cannot cue anything at all. I just play two records. Well, two MP3s.
Like play one and then play the next.
Exactly. Everything's a train wreck. It was horrendous.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah.
No, that's bad. And you have since then evolved from that particular state.
That's correct.
And so we've got some equipment in front of us right now. And what do we got? What
you're looking at is two turntables
and a microphone.
Yeah. And a DJ mixer and a headphone. And it's
okay.
Good stuff.
So what's the special sauce? I mean, we're talking about DJ in the digital age. So obviously something's got to be digital. Mm-hmm. What is it?
It's this vinyl right here you're looking at. That's the digital part. What you're looking at is the time-coded digital vinyl. And this side is 10 minutes and this side is 15 minutes long.
Okay, so you're telling me that this analog vinyl has been encoded digitally and been time-stamped. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, I mean, and that's working in what kind of package? Like, what is the entire package that
goes package goes something like this. Well, the whole package contains this scratch amp, this software right here, and two vinyls and a CD player, the CD
right here?
CD right there, there you go.
This CD right here, let's take a look at that. And this CD is encoded digitally and time-stamped, just like the vinyl.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's this called here?
This is called Serrato Scratch Live. This is made by Rain, American DJ company. They did a lot of DJ mixers back in late 90s, but the first program, software, hardware they did was this, and it works terrific.
How does it work? Like, how does this all interface together and let you spin how you want to spin?
Well, these time-coded vinyl right here allows you to manipulate vinyl with your computer. And what's going on is that when you play these vinyls, it's like a dial tone or something like that. And the signal is sent through right here, the scratch amp, and they're using USB to connect to the software. And everything's real time. When anything you can do with a vinyl, anything you can do with a vinyl, you can do with this time-coded vinyl here. Okay,
so, and system requirements for that are?
512 megabytes of RAM, minimum requirements, 1.5 gigahertz minimum requirements.
So the standard machine...
The more the better.
Yeah, well, obviously, the more the better in anything like this, especially when you're dealing with real-time audio encoding or sampling, whatever it may be. But as far as today's standards, we're talking about minimum system requirements, 512, 1.5 gigahertz. That's not a lot when we're looking at P4s at 3 gigahertz.
Yeah, I know.
So, so what you're saying is it takes the MP3 and you would load it in your deck in the software here, and then you have complete manipulation over it on the vinyl here on the turntable. So you can scratch, you can jog,
you can juggle, you can do a turntable list, you can do all kinds of stuff. That crazy tricks.
Awesome. Yes. Now, what kind of bit rate are we looking at here, like for your MP3s? I'd imagine the higher the better.
The higher the better. 320, 44 kilobytes, 44 kilohertz. For MP3 wise, Wave, it will play anything. OGG, Wave, AIFF, I think.
Okay, so like whatever you can, whatever audio format you can throw at it.
Whatever format it will play anything.
Nice. So, I'm going to start remixing my podcasts.
Actually, it does. It does. I think it does connect with your iTunes library or something like that.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Wow, that is a very, very powerful piece of software and a hardware combo. Now, did you have as far as like sound quality, digital versus analog, what are we looking at here? I mean,
Well, let me give you an honest truth. I still think vinyl, like real vinyl, sounds better than digital because what you get is a lot of bass, a lot of beats, and a lot of highs in as well. The only problem is these are very fragile. When you break them, that's it. It's done. It's done deal. When you break one of these, you can just go store and buy another one. All your MP3s are located in this hard drive. You don't have to worry about buying another vinyl. It's like costs like $10-$20 for imports and maybe $5 to $7 for domestic. You don't have to spend all that money.
yeah, and that doesn't sound like a lot right now when you're talking about one vinyl, but when you have to walk around with 3 or 4 milk crates with 30 vinyl apiece, so you can spin a good set.
You can definitely spin a good set with vinyl, but this is definitely versatile versus 30 or. Well,
yeah, when you get a 30 gig hard drive, that's like 10,000 MP3s versus having to have 30 vinyl, which are only like 1 or 2 tracks apiece, A side, B side.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely have a much better sampling there.
Right.
Now, if anybody wants to find any more information about you or where you DJ or how you DJ, where can they go?
They can go to www.dj-liminli.net, and I spin on etn.fm every Thursday night. Don't know the schedule yet because this is going to come out August 5th, right? So.
Yes. But they can check out your website. They can check out etn.fm and see when you're going to play next and everything.
The schedule's on there, so it might change a little bit.
Okay, but as of right now, you spin on Thursday nights.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much again. It's been a pleasure. And so let's go ahead and hit up Allie for this month's poll. Allie, what's the poll?
So, we're starting something new this month. We're starting a poll. When we go out, we ask people stupid questions and we see what they have to say. This month it was pirates, ninjas, or zombies. Who would you pick if it came down to a fight? We went around Colonial Williamsburg to find our answers. Check it out. Pirates, zombies, or ninjas?
Pirates.
Pirates. I'll take pirates.
Yeah, the last zombie I saw was like in Scooby-Doo's.
Ninjas. Pirates or zombies?
Ninjas.
Pirates? Why?
I'm just kind of obsessed with them.
Zombies?
Yeah.
Why do you think zombie?
Because they don't die.
Pirates?
Yes.
Is it because of the eye patch?
No.
No, it's the peg leg.
No, because of Blackbeard.
I would have to say zombies.
Why zombies?
Because they're already dead, they can't really get hurt.
It's the eye patch, isn't it?
It really is. It gets me every time.
So, pirates?
Yeah, what's up with that, man? Seriously.
It's just because the movie came out, that's all. I mean, to me, it's like a ninja.
Dude, totally the ninja.
Because you can ask a ninja.
I'm all about zombies, man.
Zombie.
Guy had a good point about the zombies. What they're not remembering is that zombies can get shot in the head by the pirate, and then they're dead.
Yeah, but the ninja can sleep up behind and just like decapitate them both in one go.
Or the ninja can use his like little throwing star and he can like cut open the pirate's spleen and he can go, "Arg, my spleen,"
Okay, we're obviously all right, but we would love to hear what you guys have to say. We will be back right after this message. Remember to take the poll on hak5.org.
You know who I pick? Chuck Norris.
Hello, my name is Duke, and I'm a Hak5 addict. I've got only one problem, and that is I've got a terrible memory, and I always forget the date that they released. Was it the 7th of the month? The 4th? I tried everything, but then I found a solution. iTunes podcast subscription. It gets me my monthly dose of Technolist every month on time. So I'll never have to miss another episode of my favorite show, Hak.4.
Okay, so we're back here at Hak5, and we visited the HOPE conference in New York City. HOPE, Hackers on Planet Earth.
Put on by 2600. It's kind of like, a security conference, little like DEF CON, a lot like New York.
A lot like New York, a little more lannish.
Hey, it's the only place that I know of that you can get a little tipsy and get on a Segway.
Sweet. I love Segways. I want one. And we ran into Harrison there. Harrison from Sploitcast.
Harrison had a hacker conference.
Imagine that.
So we had a couple of questions for him, so let's take a look at that. So we're hoping. Guess who we found? It turns out that Harrison kind of likes the hacking stuff too. So, Harrison, what are you doing at Hackers on Planet Earth?
It's actually kind of a funny story. This is pretty much like a vacation for me because I've been spending my whole summer working in Indianapolis, and my girlfriend wanted to go to New York. I was like, well, conveniently enough, I could find something to do in New York this weekend.
But your girlfriend, from what I understand, is a hacker too, right?
She's not. I mean, I think she probably wouldn't really like me calling her a hacker, but I mean, she's definitely knows her way around a computer. So.
Sweet. So what have you been keeping yourself busy with?
Well, pretty much the whole summer I've been working, and now Sploitcast has a release schedule.
Oh my God, a release schedule! You're insane.
So
don't tell me the 6th of the month. No, the 7th.
No, actually, it's every 2 weeks.
Oh, you're really insane.
On a Sunday, whatever Sunday is.
Okay.
Every
cool.
2 weeks. So that's keeping me. Well, actually, that didn't really take up too much time, so it's not really keeping me busy. Mainly work, and
right.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But
yeah, but people don't care about your work; they want to see Sploitcast.
Yeah.
So what's going on with that? What do you have lined up?
Well, we got a lot of guests coming on. Actually, I've been carrying around Johnny's book. For those of you who don't know, Johnny Long, Google hacking.
Good stuff.
Yeah, he's going to be on the show soon. I don't really know exactly when, but he and I have been shooting emails back and forth, so I decided to pick up his book while I was here and reread it so that I'm familiar with it.
And you were saying something earlier about some pills?
The blue pill, yeah.
We're not talking about the Matrix, though.
No. Actually, the term might have come... She might have taken it from the Matrix. There's a lady who's been doing research into 100% undetectable malware, so she claims, based on the new, architectures of like the processors that AMD is coming out with, which allow for better virtualization. So basically, her idea was to kind of put a hypervisor in between the processor and the operating system. And so there's malware. It's basically another layer of abstraction. So malware sits between the processor and the operating system, and if you've used a virtual machine before, you know that it's very difficult for the virtual machine to detect the host operating system.
Right. If installing VMware on top of VMware on top of VMware. That's always fun to do.
So, I mean, the idea here is that your operating system is basically being virtualized by malware.
That's a scary thought, man.
Yeah,
and that wouldn't be detectable by like normal means, but you don't think it's foolproof, do you?
Well, I've been talking, actually, a good friend of mine, Lance James, who's done a lot of work with phishing and malware, who will be speaking here tomorrow. Unfortunately, I got to catch a flight tomorrow morning, so I won't be able to see it. But on the same subject, Lance and I were talking earlier about this, and as he mentioned, malware doesn't just sit there. It does something, so it can collect all the data it wants, but it's got to send it somewhere, right? So he thinks that, you might not be able to detect the malware on the machine, or it would be very difficult to do so, but you can catch it when it's like, it's got to FTP all this data somewhere so that your criminals can, use what they're trying to capture from you, right?
Right, so with some smart packet sniffing, you'd be able to kind of...
I mean, I don't know if you would call it smart packet sniffing. I mean, it would be like very sophisticated packet sniffing. There would have to be some way to... actually, I mean... I really don't know.
Yeah, this is all just theory at this point. We're just kind of
very theoretical
guessing
right now. So,
all right. Well, thanks for taking some time to chat with us.
Cool.
Enjoy the rest of the con.
Yeah, you as well.
So, ran into Harrison at a HackerCon.
That's always fun.
I'm really, really looking forward to the Sploitcast every 2 weeks. That's going to be great. I enjoy his stuff.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't checked it out, head over to Sploitcast.com. He does a really great podcast, and he's a Hak5 alumni.
Yes.
So we're excited to...
Glad to see he's doing well with that.
Definitely. Also, I was able to run into Jason Davis of MD5 Lookup. Right.
Probably the best panel discussion at Hope.
I gotta say, out of all the stuff, that was really the best thing for me. Mm-hmm. I was really looking forward to the quantum cryptography, but that got canceled. Kevin Mitnick got canceled, and then the privacy is dead. The guy got arrested right before the...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No privacy for him. And I think my personal favorite, MD5 panel was pretty good, but it was really good, but I also liked hearing...
Phil Terone from Make? Yeah, that was good too.
Make was great.
But let's head over to, let's take a look at MD5 Lookup with Jason Davis.
Roll that beautiful footage.
So I'm joined here by Jason Davis, who just finished a panel on password cracking and time memory trade-off. And you're working for the site, what is this, MD5 Lookup?
MD5lookup.com.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about, to somebody that's not familiar with time memory trade-off, the basic example, we're all kind of familiar, our audience is, with password cracking, but how this differs from your standard brute force and dictionary attacks?
With time memory trade-off compared to brute forcing you have to go ahead and you have to compute every combination for your certain key space every single time, which is sort of ridiculous because if you do a 1-thread password, it's going to take you forever. And then if you do that on one password, you have to do that for all your passwords. So why not just generate them all but store them into memory the first time and then make it quick recall all the other times? That's what time memory trade-off is applied to password cracking, basically.
Now, I think a lot of people are also familiar with the popular Rainbow Crack software or Rainbow Tables, and from your panel I understand that what you're doing is similar yet a lot different. So can you tell me what those differences are?
Rainbow Tables use rainbow mathematics, which is basically pattern or interval oriented. When you do that, you lose accuracy. So that's why Rainbow Tables have 97.3, 98.9, and when you really get into the 99.9999%, the tables increase drastically. That's because they have to generate all those intervals, all those patterns throughout the whole thing. In hash databasing, which is what I do, basically you generate all the combinations and you store them, and there is no pattern-oriented, anything like that. For whatever character set you generate it for, you're going to have 100% accuracy for that character set. So.
But at the expense of disk space.
Yeah, but as I said in the panel, we're definitely working on that. We've got a lot of new techniques that are coming up. I had some people mention some stuff to me, and they're going to be emailing me, and hopefully I can work out some more stuff to help reduce that, because right now we're relatively competitive with the same sizes as Rainbow Tables, but I'm hoping that we can beat that, and definitely push the envelope when it comes to that.
So what kind of tricks and ways are you using to reduce the size of the current tables? What's your technique right now?
Generally speaking, what you do is you store your text in your hash. Well, if your hash is 32 characters, which is 16 bytes, and your text is 4, you're going to have 20 bytes there. Well, what we do is we take the hash and we cut it down and we CRC it, and then that cuts it down to about six characters, which is about 3 bytes, and then you store your clear text with that. You CRC that as well. And what happens is you're going to run into a bunch of collisions, and then you group those. So you not only reduce the rows, but you shrink the size and everything. It's basically like a really pimp way to use CRCs as a compression mechanism. So, yeah.
And anybody can try this at home. They can just go to md5lookup.com and punch in a hash.
Yeah, I have a ton of the research online that explains everything in more elaborate motion than what I did with the panel. But yeah, they can use the regular single search online right now, and then eventually I'm going to have the multi-engine, which you just put in a list of hashes and it'll just crack them all and give you an output on it. So.
And when you did your demonstration, it was really amazing to see that even when you would give it, 5 or more hashes, it was able to compute those in a matter of seconds. So what is it on the back end that's making it so optimized?
Basically, one of the problems with, well, it's not really a problem, but Rainbow Tables uses flat files, and you can't really build a web interface for flat files. So what we did was I put all of it into a real MySQL database, and we indexed the whole thing. And the index is large, but it allows us to break passwords, and literally from that database server, we can break them in 0.20 of a second. So that's one of the things, is that we're database, not flat file, and it's web oriented. So a lot of the overhead just flat out isn't there.
So what kind of issues have you had with storage?
The original database wasn't too huge. I had two 160 gig drives. Now we basically, the limitations, I'm up to 1.8 terabytes now, and I'm already at 1.5 of that full. So I definitely, in order to add more characters to the database, make it more effective statistically, you have to have more space. So right now I'm just looking into funding for new hard drives, just new compressions, that type of thing. And it's all research, and we're just feeling it out, working it out. Whatever comes.
So you were talking about characters. What kind of character space have you been able to put in your index right now?
Our new one, which is 1.5, will break 1 through 5, everything, all 255 printable, 6 and 7 alphanumeric, 8 alpha, lower, and 0 through 10 length numbers. So that's a huge
What's the eventual goal? The 8 everything?
8 everything would be cool, because then we'll literally hit about 70 to 80% of all passwords on the planet. So.
And do you have any idea as to what the size of that might be?
14 terabytes.
Wow, 14 terabytes. So now you're just doing this on your own, or is this for a company?
This is I basically have separated myself from my company for this one. I'm self-employed, and it's been funded on my own pocket and everything right now. I've done everything myself, and I've had a couple people help me with testing, programming, stuff like that. So.
Well, we definitely understand how that is here at Hak5. So is there ways that people can support the project? Maybe even can they submit their own hashes or values, anything like that? Or
I mean, they could eventually, when I put the new one online, I'm going to see if I can start taking donations, because then I can start building another server with a better database. And since I'm not a big fan of charging for the service, I'd rather just have people, okay, cool, I use this, I do 300 a day, I'll give them $10 or whatever. So I might look into something like that, but other than that, it's just going to be self-sustained. So.
Right, and you also said in the panel that you're a fan of open source, so that you're giving up the source code for this, so anybody can do this themselves.
Everything right now is currently just open source. You can go to the website, download the utils. The only problem is that I haven't thrown a lot of documentation in with it. There's basically just some keynotes inside the utils.
What, source code without documentation?
Yeah, well, it was sort of thrown together, because I'm not exactly a C++ programmer. I had to basically relearn it, force myself to do it, and I didn't really want to put it up there because it's not exactly 100% stable, so it still needs critiquing. And with the next release, once I'm done with the new database, probably in about a month or so, I'm going to throw up the new utilities, which are a lot more stable, and then the new one will be online. So.
And then anybody can make these at home. But what kind of, aside from the storage requirements, what kind of CPU time does it take to generate these databases?
Because it's written in real C, it basically takes 5 days to run through the process, and I did it in 5 runs. So you're looking at about 25 days for the one that I'm building now. So 1.5 terabytes in under 30 days is pretty good.
That's amazing, considering it's only going to take a second to crack the password after that.
Exactly. I'm willingly going to give up 1.5 terabytes in 25 days, basically just on a server that would be idling anyways, to be able to proactively audit anything I want. So.
And right now it's just MD5, right?
Yeah, I had a few questions about that, and the algorithm can be easily adopted in the sources. Right now, all it does is include the MD5 headers and run basically the MD5 function. You can change it to whatever you want, because the way that the compression is set up now, it's CRC oriented, not algorithm dependent. So.
Okay, and as you see this evolve, where do you see MD5 lookup going in the next year?
I'm going to finish the new database in about a month. I'm going to leave that online for about a year, and if I have the funding to move up the character set to the next one, then that's where I'm going to go.
And it's free for anybody to use. Now, that obviously must put a lot of burden on the server on the back end, so is that something that may change, or are you running into problems with load on the server?
Dig.com, which is a popular bookmarking site, we got hit on there, and that basically broke my server. So I'm definitely going to split it up, have a database server and then 2 web servers, and but that's an eventuality. It'll come around. So definitely, because if we got /dotted, I wouldn't be up for a week. So.
Okay, and so that means be nice, guys. So where can they find any more information about your research and then try it out themselves?
Everything's on the site, and there's a lot of research out there right now on just basic time memory trade-off. People that they're taking the ideas, and that's what I want. People to take the ideas, turn them into whatever they want. I want to see better versions of what I've done. And I really think time memory trade-off is the way to go with password cracking now, because storage is so abundant. Why not? It just totally beats the pants off of brute forcing.
Oh, great, especially with hard drives as cheap as they are these days. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us, and we'll be checking in and seeing how you're doing.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so this just about wraps it up for Season 2, Episode 1 of Hak5.
Feels so good to get this done.
It feels great to be back in the
But of course, we got a lot of fun stuff to cover before we get out of here.
Of course. First and foremost is that Podzinger
teamed up with the guys at Podzinger. You may remember them from episode 7 or 8. We had an interview. Good stuff.
And they have actually decided to be the sole search engine for Hak5 content on the website. And meaning there'll be a little search bar at the top of the website, and you can type in a search, a text search for a specific thing, and it'll actually go through all of our content and single out the segment in the episode that we spoke about that.
It's really neat stuff, so give that a try. Check that out. Also, very excited, we just released the DVD.
The Best of Season 1.
Yes, and it's a free DVD. You can get it on BitTorrent. Head over to hak5.org, grab a copy, burn as many as you want, give them to all your friends. It's Creative Commons.
It's our 6 favorite sketches.
A whole bunch of segments and some behind the scenes. Yes, a lot of Easter eggs. And, what else do we have on that? Some extra features behind the set.
Behind the scenes, cast interviews.
It's fun stuff like that.
The cast is a bunch of tools.
Yeah, but we can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyway, you know what? The survey.
Yes, this is a very, very good way for all of you to help us out. Doesn't cost you any money, so hey, that's good for you. But we need this, so if you could please go to the website, take the survey, fill it out. And also, you can add in where you first heard of us, how you got turned on to us, what was your first computer.
Tell us about your Technolust.
Yeah, whatever your Technolust may be, let us know.
And if you're looking to support us with money, and you're looking for, web hosting, we got to thank our awesome web host, DreamHost. If you head over to dreamhost.com, when you check out with coupon code HAK5, because
there's no point in Hak5, you get $25 off your order.
And that helps us, and they are an awesome web host with, terabyte of transfer and gigabytes
they just have great
awesome
services.
Stuff. Also, show notes have moved to the wiki.
Yes, we thought that'd be a little bit better. We have a wonderfully active community on the forums. So we thought, just to lighten the load a little bit, we'll put the show notes on the Hak5 wiki.
And in addition to that, we also have supplemental material. So, the longer edition of the interview with Harrison, as well as some other stuff from Hope and stuff that didn't fit into the episode, we've got, the uncut version of that up on the supplemental material. Now, before we go, it's kind of been a Hak5 tradition, at least with Season 1, that at the end of the episode, for some reason, I get hurt. And I'm not really sure why that is. So starting with Season 2, we're going to try to change that up a bit. And we just received a package a few days ago from our good friend in the UK, Melodic. Thank you so much for sending this in. This is a gift from Melodic from the UK.
Oh, is it?
Wes has no clue.
What? Seriously,
Where's the fun if you're not getting hurt? That makes my day.
Wes, you've been teabagged.
Oh, God. That's
Darren?
so wrong.
Darren.
That's wrong.
Thank you,
on
Melodic.
so many.
Darren, give me some love.
You know what, Melodic? This is for you.
Oh, And on that bright and cheerful note, we're going to tell everybody to keep watching Hak5, spread the word.
He's Darren.
I'm West. He's West.
For everybody here at Hak5, we're reminding you to
trust your Technolust. I got owned.
Right after this.
Pull them both.
I stole your pool and I owned it. It's mine.
You like that shut up, don't you? You want? Hak5, Season 2, Episode 1, here in 5.
Would it be 0.5?
There's no point in Hak5, remember? So
not this season.
That's for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Q72?
Q72 and...
It would help if I would turn this on.
Yeah, that does tend to help.
I can hear you now.
I shouldn't be allowed to have caffeine.
Like your little thing going on over there?
Yeah, you can have it.
It's all you.
Are you going to bounce with us or not? Or are you going to take us all yourself? Okay, Allie, I figure, you see how I have polls separated into two?
Yeah, Darren, you have 2 sentences per poll. I don't think it's going to be that complicated.
False alarm.
False alarm. Again. Starting over. So, I know. Hak5, Season 2, Episode
Woo! Let's
Take
go.
2.
God, you guys are pussies.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beep. About that time, eh?
Righto.
Righto.
Okay.
On.
So,
product placement. Okay, no, I got it. Let me.
No. I always started.
Yeah, Darren's all like, let me own this. I'm a pro.
I'm a pro. All right.
Watch him break his own bone again.
Okay, but we're gonna need
3, 2.
Beep. Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Cry for this bull crap.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't think of Darren. moving his lips and making noises. Shut your food tube, human. Statue is in Yunnan Province, Canada.
Canada?
Canada.
China.
Hey, China, Canada, man, I get those confused all
I
the
know,
time.
all the time.
It's cool.
Up north,
America, it's
way
just-
out
it's all
east.
different
Hey.
countries.
Whatever.
Competitive rates and de bien, c'est so bon dabei. Ich weiß nicht, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber es ist nicht so gut. Tschüss!